Hello everyone, this is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakir. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has said that she doesn't accept the Supreme Court judgment but will implement it. This came hours after the Supreme Court upheld the Calcutta High Court order cancelling the appointment of more than 25,000 teachers and non-teaching staff under the West Bengal School Service Commission. The apex court had called the entire process of selection as vitiated by manipulation and fraud. One key aspect of the judgment is that those appointed through fair means have also suffered like the tainted candidates. Bengal Chief Minister also went on to say that it's not just 25,000 candidates, it's their families that are impacted too. She also referred to the fact that the first judge to give this order is now a BJP MP. That's our focus at this hour. First up the story, and then I bring in the guests.
Over 25,000 teaching and non-teaching staff at government-run schools face uncertainty after the Supreme Court held their appointments invalid, upholding the earlier Calcutta High Court order. Big setback for the Mamata Banerjee government as the Supreme Court upheld the Calcutta High Court order in quashing over 25,000 jobs of teaching and non-teaching staff in government-aided schools here in West Bengal. But the setback has deeper implication on those teachers who won't be going back to their classes.
2016 को ये स्कूल सर्विस कमीशन का एग्ज़ाम था, उससे हम लोग टीचर है।
आप रिक्रूट हुए?
हाँ, कल तक तो कर रहा था, 6 साल तक। देखिए आज का जो वर्डिक्ट आया है देश के चीफ जस्टिस का बेंच का ये वर्डिक्ट है। अगर आप रिव्यू भी करें तो मुझे नहीं लगता इसमें कोई फ़ायदा है।
Another aspirant who had cleared the examination and started teaching in a school is worried how his family will sustain this impact.
वो तो हम लोग का ज़िंदगी तो तबाह करने वाला जजमेंट है। तो हम लोग को जो घर में जो फैमिली है, जो मेरा एक बेटी है 9 साल का, एक मेरा बेबी है, और जो माँ बाप है, और जो EMI है, लोन है, क्या करेगा इस उम्र में आके 38, 40, 44 ईयर्स में आके क्या करेगा, नया क्या नौकरी ढूंढने का।
Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee deflecting the setback as she takes a political aim at the opposition in Bengal.
তাদের দায়বদ্ধতা নেই, দায়বদ্ধতা ছিল না, এবং আমি বিশ্বাস করি এটা বিজেপি করিয়েছে এবং সিপিএম করিয়েছে।
But the BJP is pushing for her resignation.
She must resign because it is her responsibility during her tenure. This kind of malafide, and corrupt teachers were appointed.
Even as these candidates now see very little hope left after the big Supreme Court verdict, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has announced that on 7th April, she will be meeting a delegation of these teachers along with lawyers and her Chief Secretary at an auditorium in Kolkata to address their issues. With GD Shankar, Sreyashi De for NDTV.
And joining me now here in the NDTV studios is Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP. Tausif Khan is political analyst and also a TMC supporter. Jayanta Ghoshal is a senior journalist. Kapil Sankla is a Supreme Court advocate. I'm going to begin with you, Shehzad. The question here is that here is the Chief Minister who is making a very important point. She says that when the cash is recovered, money is recovered from a sitting judge's home, he's transferred, he's only transferred. Then why were these candidates not transferred? The first judge to give this order is now a BJP MP. BJP and CPM have conspired to lead to this verdict. So what is this understanding between the CPM and the BJP in Bengal?
Unless she is imputing motives of the Chief Justice of India and the Supreme Court judges who have today upheld the decision of the Calcutta High Court and have made scathing observations saying that the entire process is vitiated and tainted by manipulation and fraud. I think this is an attack on the judiciary. Now, there can be a case as to if a judge has been found accused of corruption, what action should be taken on him. And we were in fact bringing the NJAC. I don't know why she opposed it back then. But that being set aside, is she justifying the institutionalization of corruption which has taken place under her watch? Because this is not just about these 25,000 odd teachers and especially people from Group C and Group D who have lost their jobs because of this corruption. TMC today has come to mean tu, मैं or corruption. And please tell me, what does the judiciary have to do when Jyoti Priya Malik is caught red-handed in public distribution scam? Firad Hakim is caught in Narda. Subrata Mukherjee in Narda. Madan Mitra in Narda. Anubrata Mondal in cattle smuggling scam. Coal scam of 1,000 crores. Rose Valley scam. All of these are under the credit of Mamata Banerjee. MMM is no longer Ma Mati Manush, it has become money and Muslim appeasement. And therefore, Tausif ji, instead of coming and attacking the judiciary, madam should tell us a pile of cash was found from the very dear friend of Partha Chatterjee. In fact, the other MOS also in the education ministry, his daughter had been illegally appointed. Our Jayanto Dada would know that his daughter's appointment was also cancelled by the courts. So please, Mr. Tausif Khan, please tell us that what is the action that should be taken at the head of TMC who was allowing all these corruption scams to take place.
Okay, Tausif, respond to that.
You see,
Why did the TMC government of Mamata Banerjee allow this scam to continue?
you see, it is better that 100 guilty should escape than one innocent person should suffer. That's a legal doctrine, well-established legal doctrine that even Indian judiciary follows. Now today what we saw in the judgment, even the judge acknowledges, the court acknowledges that all the 25,000 teachers are not guilty of fraud. Some of them are. Therefore, what we see today is the Shylock moment of Indian judiciary. I cannot accept, and nobody will accept, that our judiciary cannot separate from who all are actually responsible, who all are guilty, from those who are not guilty, and then push the entire lot to suffer. What is the fault of thousands of families who will now suffer because of this judgment? So many people are depressed. There is no humanitarian consideration. Of course, we are bound by the Supreme Court judgment. There is no scope of going review and getting a fruitful result. And the state government has declared that it will follow the directions of the Supreme Court. But the question remains.
Yes.
Had state government been given a chance, had CBI not been involved, we could have, perhaps,
No, but
it
the-
could have
but
been.
the
There's a
question is-
possibility
no,
that
but-
could have been bifurcated.
But the question
only the
here
guilty
is
must
that
suffer.
here
Why do
is
you
a
say
judgment
so?
which has come, which is essentially the Supreme Court upholding the judgment of the Calcutta High Court, which had cancelled the appointment of 25,000 teachers. But the West Bengal Chief Minister, while she says that she will be implementing it, the order of the apex court, she has also gone on to say that she cannot not express her own opinion because she is also a citizen of this country, Kapil Sankla. Can the Chief Minister be seen just as the citizen of the country, or is this, or will this not be seen as the head of a state, because she is the Chief Minister, questioning the judiciary and essentially saying, imputing to what has been one of her sentences, that the first judge to pass this order is also a BJP MP?
Well, it's very shocking what she said, and it is even more shocking what Advocate Tausif Saab has also said. You see, the adage that he used is for criminal law, not for civil, not for writ, and not for any of those cases. And in this case, there is no punishment that has been given. Punishment was given in the Haryana scam. Similar case. Punishment was also given in the Bihar scam. In the UP TT matter, no punishment was given, but orders were passed. Even in the Haryana case, the Honorable Supreme Court had been pleased to say that those people should be sacked. However, had left it to the in the hands of the government then, and the government did nothing. They just adopted a dilatory tactic, saying that there are political compulsions. So therefore, if the Honorable Supreme Court has come down very strongly, it is rightly so. Because the rot here starts either from the top or from the bottom, but the rot is definitely there to see, and rot has to be clean. More than 25,000 cases have been brought to the notice. 27,000 odd I think people had been given the job according to this or have been asked to join in. There were systematic failures and systematic scams and cheating that was conducted to get in their own people. Now, if the Honorable Supreme Court does not step in, then who does? And they have only stated what the Honorable High Court stated, but has still given some protection to the innocent by saying, all right, whatever you earn till date in your salaries, you do not have to return it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Honorable High Court order was that you return everything that is there because everything is tainted. So therefore, what the Supreme Court has done is actually cleared the way and created a level playing field, saying that it will not be a witness to such kind of state-sponsored, and very unfortunately I'm saying this, but state-sponsored fraud. What Ms. Banerjee says today is very unfortunate, because this is, I think, a smokescreen. When she says, oh, look at what the Honorable Supreme Court has done, it should have taken a humanitarian ground, then what if all those people who have actually benefited from this? And we are not talking about those teachers. Why did the Supreme Court why did the courts come so heavy in the Haryana case, where the gentleman was in fact punished and he had to undergo a jail imprisonment? None of that has happened here. So therefore, I think they have been let off quite easy. But for them to now try to digress the issue and to create a spokesman, not just unfortunate, but coming from the highest person in the state, it also reflects very badly on this finger pointing thing, because an old adage for Tausif Saab, when you point one finger at somebody else, three of those point towards you. So I mean, at this case itself, I think it is very unfortunate and very uncalled for.
Okay, Tausif, a response to that, and then I bring in Jayanta Ghoshal.
No, I agree. I agree that the court must penalize, must punish those who are guilty. This is a case like the panelist before me was giving an example of Haryana. Here, they have not been able to identify the culprits. That is why instead of punishing only the culprits, this judgment is obviously
okay. Why do you look so
everyone.
shocked?
It's a passive punishment.
Why do you look so shocked?
You know, first of all, these 25,000 candidates are victims of your corruption. They are not victims of the judgment, sir. And therefore, I suggest this, that the corrupt, you have shielded them, like Partha you were trying to shield, then you shielded other corrupt people also. Why don't you now announce on Maria's show, which is being watched by lakhs of people, what do you intend to do for these 25,000 victims, in the sense that because they have been defrauded by the corruption done by state level, your party and your government, right now please announce how you are going to accommodate these 25,000 people and compensate them financially. I am all ears and I am all in support for that. Please announce.
So Mamata Banerjee has already declared in the press conference today that they are all eligible according to the Supreme Court judgment to take the retest. So obviously they will be
one second, Tausif ji, one second, let's hold on. Supreme Court made them eligible for retest. That means they are not victimized by the Supreme Court. They are victimized by your government's corruption. How are you going to compensate them?
So just now we were talking about corruption in Haryana.
Forget Haryana, Bengal. Bengal. Don't undermine Bengal. Bengal
corruption is only exclusive to Bengal. Yeah. Come on, we live in a country, we live in a time where corruption is rampant. It's you focus on non-BJP.
Let's talk about Bengal, because here there is an education system which has collapsed, and there are teacher recruitment scam which has happened. So there is much more than what meets the eye. So instead of blaming it on the judiciary for a judgment or whatever you may say, there has to be course correction on the part of the government. So that's what I want to understand from you, Jayanta Ghoshal. Could the Chief Minister or the Education Minister of the state have acted?
Maria, today what Supreme Court has, the order of the Supreme Court, Chief Minister has said that although she has a different opinion, but she will implement the order. Now, Supreme Court has said that the tainted and the clean teachers, there are difference. Supreme Court also made, because Supreme Court said the salary, what they got, the money they got for their job, they don't have to return that money, but the tainted teachers will return the money. So it is clear that Supreme Court also differentiated these two camps among this whole panel. But now Supreme Court rejected the whole panel. So today in Bengal, the cry of those innocent teachers and the family, it has become a major issue. Now you can blame Chief Minister, you can blame the government. Already the politics has started of the opposition politics. It's natural that BJP, Shubhendu Adhikari has demanded the resignation of Chief Minister. Now Congress and CPM also saying the same thing. But you know, Mamata Banerjee's education minister who is now in jail, today also CBI has said that we have the it is evidential truth that he instructed the school service and the authority and to take those teachers. So now he is in jail and today he didn't get the bail also. So one side, the corruption, it happened, and Supreme Court, it's very good that Supreme Court has intervened and they have given this verdict. And Chief Minister is not objecting to that aspect because she is not saying that I am supporting that corruption and there should not be any action, there should not be any against the former education minister and the system. But you know, this political consequence is now, Mamata Banerjee is now it has become a politics before 2026, whether BJP will be able to make it the issue. Arjikar also, it was the health issue. Now, you see the Ram Navami and the Muslim and the Hindu issues are more important for BJP. And now today, Mamata Banerjee has become more aggressive.
No,
and
but Jayanto Ghoshal, I understand your point, but
Maria,
here is the Chief
with
Minister.
utmost respect to Jayantoda,
Yes.
as a BJP national spokesperson, not one utterance has been made on Ram Navami or on Hindu-Muslim. And please just give me 20 seconds, Maria, just 20 seconds. Here are a few observations made by courts, not by BJP, all on one after the other corruption cases of all kinds under Mamata's watch. One, investigation cannot be left to the state police. It involves influential people and police does not do a good job. Two, the state government is sitting over investigation, protecting the corrupt. Please, sir, I'm quoting High Court and Supreme Court. 3, jobs are sold like commodities. 4, entire recruitment process is a fraud. 5, the scam is deep-rooted, involves a larger conspiracy. 6, it is on account of unbridled corruption in recruitment that qualified and deserving candidates are on the streets. 7, on the face of it, you're a corrupt person. This is for Partha when Mamata was defending Partha. Sir, with folded hands, who is responsible for this when observation after observation is being made? Does Mamata Banerjee have no accountability? Is she a queen of Bengal? Is she queen of Bengal? Is she queen of Bengal?
No, Shahjad, you are a very good friend of mine. I have a very humble question that you mentioned about Narda also. In that Narda, Shubhendu Adhikari was also taking money.
Sir, you take action on all. You said Narda is not a scam.
So actually you are very selective on that. And now you have making this politics. It's good. It's a BJP's politics. BJP has to do this and I don't mind. But you know the suffer, today, the ground reality.
Jayantada.
Those
again, sir, I don't want to interrupt you. This is not that kind of show. I have quoted 7 observations of the courts is the courts doing politics when they demand accountability of Mamata Banerjee. And sir, maybe for a change, forget the BJP for this. The young people and the people of Bengal are suffering because Mamata Banerjee has institutionalized political violence, appeasement politics and corruption. It is time that just like we call out other BJP governments, we should call out the non-BJP governments also. We should not fear it.
Defame those honest teachers. You cannot.
Who has said that? I've said please compensate all 25,000. I've asked Tausif.
No. Mamata Banerjee has announced today that there are 1.5 lakhs vacancies there. But you know, the new examination, already those teachers
the entire
are asking
process, the Supreme Court says, has lost its credibility. And the entire process is vitiated by manipulation and fraud. I mean, for the Supreme Court to say that there is almost like the entire process is so vitiated, there has to be some kind of better appointment process which has to be put in place, which will be more transparent and credible. That's what the Chief Minister is expected to do, particularly given the fact that the Education Minister is already behind the bars. And the buck stops with someone. It doesn't really stop with the education minister. A chief minister of a state is responsible for a lot of these.
Yeah.
Yes, Jayantoda.
You are asking me?
Yes,
yeah.
Jayantoda.
No. I completely agree, Maria.
Yes.
That today's judgment, what Supreme Court has said, that shows there is major setback for the state government because the acceptance on corruption, it never good for the state government. But you know, the Mamata Banerjee, what she wants to say, that I'm telling you, that one aspect is the Supreme Court's judgment, and it's a good for corruption-free West Bengal. They are also now imposing this order to the state of affairs. It's good. But
Yes.
you know, the Mamata Banerjee is saying that there is a conspiracy because this innocent teachers
No, but
also
how is
now,
there a
they have become
conspiracy, Tausif? And what really, what is the BJP conspiring here? And on what basis is, CPM and BJP coming together to target Mamata Banerjee? Or is this just an allegation because you realize elections are not very far and this is a convenient narrative to build?
Maria, we all remember the sitting High Court judge as the judge holding the position. He admitted after his resignation, he admitted in an interview that he was in touch with BJP. And so obviously there is a question, how can a judge be in touch with BJP members and pass judgments which are so visibly against the ruling government in Bengal, so visibly in favor of BJP opposition in Bengal, and then he resigns and joins BJP, contests election and wins and becomes an MP. Yes, there is question about the nexus that this judge had with the political party in Bengal. People cannot forget that. That happened only 2-3 years ago. Now we see we are in a situation where this judgment has not really helped to clean the system out at the cost of thousands and thousands of families in Bengal who are going to suffer. Can you punish, in order to punish handful, can you make the entire lot suffer? That's a bigger question. Where is the humanitarian consideration? That's the question.
No, but where is the humanitarian consideration even coming on that? Kapil Sankla, what exactly is this humanitarian ground that an illegal appointment happens first and then you have to paint this as a case of humanitarian, some kind of sympathy which has to arise?
Every criminal has a humanitarian story behind him. He
Yes.
could be poor, needy, wrong education, bachpan mein bahut maar pati, and all of that. The judgment prioritizes integrity over individual claims, and that is what is important. You have to look at the larger picture. It is not about individual claims any longer, it is about the society at large. Here there is a clear case of systematic fraud which nullified the appointment's validity. Please look at what the Honorable High Court and the Supreme Court has stated. The OMR sheets were tampered, they were rank jumping, which was a deliberate act to favor certain ineligible candidates. There were excess appointments. There were 25,753 issued versus 24,640. This was procedural illegality. There were certain issues where the bench stated that the entire selection process was compromised by large-scale fraud, making it impossible to separate valid from invalid appointments. Please see what the Honorable Supreme Court and High Court are saying. The court emphasized that the process lost credibility due to manipulated and cover-up attempts. Now with a finding like that, if you still want to blow the bugle of individual claims and humanitarian grounds, I think it would actually be shooting the entire criminal and civil procedure, the fundamental right procedure, shooting it dead. You have to understand.
I think Kapil has got it wrong.
Sir, just a second. This is a state-sponsored issue, and I'm not saying this is Ms. Banerjee, but this is state. There are people in the state who have created this fraud, and people have suffered. Now you can't actually make other people suffer to say that, all right, these people might have been fraudulent appointees, but there are 25,000 number, and therefore let us validate the same. This would be not only encouraged, but would be shameful in my view, sir, as a lawyer.
Okay.
No, when Tausif tries to bring in Justice Gangopadhyay into this discussion, I want to ask that is he imputing that the Supreme Court judges have a quid pro quo with the BJP for delivering today's judgment? Point one and point two, sir. What is your opinion about Justice Baharul Islam? He joined Congress, fought the election, then came back to judiciary. Judiciary से politics में जाना तो great है, पर politics से judiciary में आना ये Baharul Islam नहीं किया है. And please tell me the view of Justice Abhay Thipse, who gave many decisions in Bombay High Court against the so-called Hindu terror, joined Congress. So are they also corrupt?
No, Shahzad,
no, because they are Abhay Thipse and Baharul Islam.
First of all, I did not bring Justice Gangopadhyay in the picture. He himself brought himself in this picture.
The only person in the picture is Mamata Banerjee and a corrupt government.
In favor of BJP and then subsequently resigning and joining BJP. So it's not me who is bringing him. He himself brought it. Secondly, you see, I am not saying in a defense that consider those who are involved in fraud. I'm not saying to consider the humanitarian ground why they committed this fraud as a defense.
But Mamata Didi defended Partha.
Please do not interrupt. Please do not.
Mamata Didi had defended Partha.
Please, I am saying that for about 25 odd malpractices or the corrupt appointments, we are making the other 22,500 genuine teachers suffer. Can we not find a way to bifurcate this with all the systems that we have? Could we not have found a way? Could the Supreme Court not have found a way? Could the Supreme Court not have found given a direction to actually identify those involved?
Sir, could you not find a way to conduct the exams without corruption?
Task. I know it's a humongous task. High Court did not have time, perhaps. High Court did not feel that it could do it, and therefore passed an order against everyone.
I am surprised at the audacity of this conversation.
To accept that
Tausif ji, just talking is not going to help your case.
We cannot bifurcate.
I am surprised at the audacity.
Who all are fraud
Tausif,
and
now
who are
you're
not.
speaking continuously without making any sense. Please listen 10 seconds. I am surprised at your audacity that rather than say that we are guilty, that we could not conduct an examination without corruption, you are putting the onus on the Supreme Court.
No one is saying, no one is defending.
No, what should we do? We should give you Nobel Peace Prize for this examination that you held. Should we declare a Nobel Peace Prize for Mamata Banerjee?
From party and he is facing the music. So no one is defending the minister.
Thank you.
Or
Thank you. Finally for making
we
me
are
face
saying
the music.
Why should the innocent suffer?
No, but who are the innocent here?
Partha maybe.
But who are the innocent here? I mean, what kind of argument is this?
The teachers who are in the panel who have lost their job.
No, but then shouldn't your state government have ensured transparency in the entire examination process?
Well, that's
now that the entire no. But now that the process has been declared as fraudulent, then you are looking at humanitarian grounds. What kind of argument is that?
Please understand, humanitarian grounds about the effect of the judgment that the Supreme Court has passed or the High Court has passed.
Yes,
of the effect of the corruption.
What is the effect of the judgment?
What about
it is going to affect thousands of families.
I'm sure thousands, in fact lakhs of teachers would have applied for this job.
Exactly.
What about their humanitarian right? What about their human rights?
Yes.
They have been...
Supreme Court in its judgment has clearly said
fraud that has been done on those teachers. That's the point.
That's the point, exactly.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Shahzad, here in the studio, Tausif, Jayanta Ghoshal and Kapil Sankla. That's all from me on this edition of The Last Word. I'll be seeing you tomorrow with the big fight.